Hello, good day. This is Keketo, your crypto educator. You know what? We are here on the Bitcoin website. We've come to look and read and understand what is happening with Bitcoin. So in the previous videos, I've taken you through all of these tabs. Now I want us to look at the resources. What resources are there, that people can just get into and learn some of what they need to learn. All right, we have learning resources here. We have directories over here, charts and statistics, guides, vouchers, and documentaries. So I would love us if we can actually look at the documentaries and make sure that we just jump into one, especially the Bitcoin phenomenon one. And it really talks about
HitPaw Video Enhancer is an AI video quality enhancer.
great.
I believe it's the beginning of 2009.
It really talks,
Technically,
it really talks sort of that. It really talks about what happened when Satoshi sent out the message, sent out that white paper. So this gentleman and many others were the ones. Actually, this one is the one that actually received that white paper and started engaging with Satoshi. Wonderful. Can you just hear what he's saying?
it was correct that it could actually work.
It was just an experiment to begin with, but I could see the potential with it.
It's a fundamental innovation. That's how I think of it.
Bitcoin is the most important invention, at least since the internet.
Ask yourself, which is more important in your life, money or email? And I think most people will say money. So this is bigger than email.
It's just incredibly novel and interesting solution to problems.
The short version of what is Bitcoin is cash for the internet. So it's a new kind of money, and it's also a payment network that runs over the internet. There's a piece of digital information that you can hold that has value. And as long as nobody else knows that information, that value belongs to you.
This sort of technology was developed independently a few times. I think the NSA developed it in the 70s, and then academic cryptographers started putting this out later in the 90s. And it's called public key cryptography. Now, we now rely on that technology every time your phone talks to your bank, or even over maybe SMS sometimes. I mean, it's just embedded in the internet and how we talk.
Bitcoin was invented by Satoshi Nakamoto. As far as I know, no one has actually met Satoshi. No one knows who he or she or they are. I've never talked with Satoshi, although I have communicated with him electronically by email or on online forums. Satoshi started working on Bitcoin, he says, in 2007, and it actually took him a couple of years to convince himself that he could actually create a system that would work, would solve this problem of how do you create a money where there's no single person or organization or government in charge. He started posting to a cryptography mailing list where he described kind of at a high level how it would work and started to get feedback from people on his idea. I believe it was the beginning of 2009, he released an academic paper that described the system in detail. And he also started up Bitcoin. He actually released the code for the system and started it running.
Coming from a crypto background, I mean, one of the first things I did was I read the paper. When you read the paper and you have that background, you think, this is very good. You think, there are kind of 50 things that might be wrong with a proposal like this. And I thought, this answers all those questions. I mean, I thought this is some very high quality work.
So the key problem that Satoshi solved that made the whole system work was a solution to what's called the double spending problem. So if I have this digital asset that I want to give to somebody else, how do you prevent me from giving it to two different people at the same time? Because obviously if it's digital, it's easy to copy. And Satoshi came up with a brilliant system for, if you try to do that, if you try to double spend and give the same Bitcoins to two different people at the same time, everybody notices. And then one or the other of those transactions is considered valid and the other one's just ignored. So solving the double spend problem was the key technical breakthrough that made Bitcoin possible even.
Bitcoin answers another question in a magical way, which is, could a bunch of people who don't trust each other all agree on when something happened so precisely that you could use it to transfer value, right? And that sounds like, who've never met each other and will never meet just by passing messages. And, I mean, the immediate answer to that is like, no way, no way. You need someone who's trusted in the middle to tell people what happened. You need all these other things. So I do think it's incredible genius.
Beautiful, guys. This is beautiful. These are some of the resources that you can then tap into and listen to all these beautiful stories that original people actually were at the right time, were at the right place at the right time to be engaging with Satoshi Nakamoto. I want to believe that these are the brains, that were positioned for them to be able to critique what Satoshi wrote and also to be able to implement it. That is the big, big, big thing for me. They did not just read it, but they went on to implement it and they found it working. So here are all the resources. You can always come here and read, and also be careful that some of these websites here and links are no longer working. So so just move on and get to other things. All right, I'm looking at this one, Bitrefill. It's vouchers. So there are companies that you can buy vouchers using Bitcoin. Like Takealot, it says here, Uber, Blue, Voucher, Checkers, Mr. D. So let me just click here on Takealot, right? So it says Takealot gift card. You pay on Takealot with crypto, buy Takealot gift cards with Bitcoin, Lightning, Ethereum, and all the others. So you select an amount you want to buy with, and then you add to cart, you pay, that's Takealot as you know it. Then you have purchased a gift, and then they are going to give you like a voucher with then the rands that you can use or send to someone to use. But you can come here and use Bitcoin to buy it. All right, and we also have Checkers here. These are just gift cards where you buy with Bitcoin, and then you can therefore, give it to someone to redeem it. All right, and then I like to read this part here, description. Checkers is South Africa's leading household shopping destination with 240 stores across the country. Use your Checkers voucher at any Checkers supermarket, hyper, and Checkers liquor. Pay over 700 accounts at the money market counter in any store. Yeah, so the thing is, you can't buy with Bitcoin in the shops. You have to come and buy it over here, and it's even written out of stock. So probably they will come back and put it back. So here Mr. D still has it. You can buy these vouchers with your Bitcoin or any other form of crypto. And then you are then gonna be able to get that gift card and send it to somebody else. All right, so just go through this but be careful. Don't be robbed like this one. I came on this learning resource. I found that here it's BTC Exchange, 2-week Japan tour, and Bitcoin ETF. When I click on Bitcoin ETF, I then came to this Capex. It says Capex trading platform. And then online crypto courses, visit website, and then invest online with Okta. So since when Okta, it's about crypto, so you must be careful. Don't click these websites, if it doesn't talk to you, just leave it there and move on, because it is decentralized. Nobody is approving anything here. you come in, you plug your information, and not all of this information will be correct. Okay. All right, and then let's look at exchanges. So here are the Bitcoin exchanges. So we have international ones like your Binance, Kraken, Bitstamp, and I don't even see Binance over here. So it's not updated as yet. Then we have peer-to-peer platforms like your Bitquick, Nuns, buy Bitcoin here. You can do that. Then you can also look for Africa. If you are in Africa, you can look at your own continent, depending on where you are. Here is Africa. Here's South Africa. They only captured Luno so far. All right. And then you can also look at other countries here. You know, you see Bitcoin Well, Coin Mama, Gemini, River Financial, Swan, Bitcoin. So there are a few of them, and lots of these exchanges are not yet updated here on the system. Now the exchange must come and update themselves over here. And then Bitcoin communities. Bitcoin actually just brought that the creation of community where people all over the world who don't know one another, they just came together doing the same thing, seeing the same opportunities, you know, and then just following on the white paper as well. And therefore, there are forums where people get to come together. There are meetups as well, like a face-to-face meetup. So you can always click here and see where are the next meetups. And then here is a list of all nonprofit organizations that are also participating here as a community, as a meetup places. Okay, or as nonprofit organizations that are aware of Bitcoin. So they're all over the place. All right, and then also you can visit the community portal on the wiki. All right, then we have the IRC chart, IRC channel, Bitcoin core development on Libera. So you can also have that chart. You can click here and go see what's happening. Here are social networks. You can go to Twitter. You can also go to Facebook. So this one I've tested actually. Twitter, it will take you to Twitter as you know it. So Bitcoin is just a community here. Here, people. So you just click on here. This is Bitcoin. So people post over here. It has 6.7 followers. So they just keep on reporting with Bitcoin. Indeed, it's just a voluntary work. So someone is busy, you know, updating what's going on with Bitcoin over here, which is beautiful. Okay, and then let's quickly see. Okay, we're done with communities, and then let's look at the documentations. So documentations also gives us, again, it takes us to the developers guide, developers information center. So developers can come over here and you know, start to develop whatever they want to develop. Then here is vocabulary. It gives you definitions like an address. A Bitcoin address is similar to a physical address or an email, right? You have to come and learn here and understand what's a blockchain. It's a public record of Bitcoin transactions. And like that gentleman said, it is used to verify the permanence of Bitcoin transactions and to prevent double spending, which is very important. So from that gentleman's, sharing, you will pick up lots and lots of what actually happened in 2019. So here are the terms, you know, that sometimes people don't know what are they, like your hash rate. So the hash rate is the measuring unit of the processing power of the Bitcoin network. So for those that are mining, then they really use terms like your hash rate. People do buy the hash rate. You are actually buying the power to mine. So, and also what is mining, you can learn what is P2P, private key signature, very important. These signatures are more, are used actually with wallets. So a cryptographic signature is a mathematical mechanism that allows someone to prove ownership. In the case of Bitcoin, a Bitcoin wallet and its private keys are linked by some mathematical magic. When your Bitcoin software signs a transaction with the appropriate private key, the whole network can see that the signature matches the Bitcoins being spent. However, there is no way for the world to guess your private key to steal your hard-earned Bitcoins. So we'll just see on the ledger that money has moved, but we will not know from who. And we have, again, events like the Bitcoin event that happened last week or so, on the 25th to the 27th of July 2024. They didn't capture it here, but you can always just come click here and put your own event over here. Okay, and then we have Bitcoin Core. Very important to understand Bitcoin Core. Bitcoin Core is programmed to decide which blockchain contains valid transactions. The users of Bitcoin Core only accept transactions for that blockchain, making it the Bitcoin blockchain that everyone else wants to use. For the latest developments related to Bitcoin Core, be sure to visit the project's official website. So you can click here and check that website and understand what they are doing. So we're learning. As we are going to be continuing, please remember to like my video, to also just subscribe to my channel, drop there a comment, and also you can just click on the notification tab to make sure that you don't miss any of the videos that I will be sending. Otherwise, thank you so much for learning with me on Bitcoin. Thank you, and I will see you in the next video.